Today I'm checking out Iberia business class on their short-haul A320. I'll be giving you a full view of the experience, including the seat, the food and drink, the service from the crew, and the ground experience when flying out of Iberia's home base in Madrid. Let's get to it. Good morning from Madrid, where today I'm taking an Iberia business class flight to London. Now, Iberia operate both wide-body and narrow-body planes on this route. On the way out here, I was on an A330 in a nice, comfortable reclining seat. For this flight today, it's going to be a bit different. I'm on the A320, and I can tell already before taking this, if you've got the option, you should definitely try and get a flight with the A330. But if that's not available, is the A320 still going to offer you something that's value for money? Let's find out. First up, I had to make my way over to the airport from my hotel and decide to hop on the metro. The Madrid metro is super convenient and easy to use, and is a really inexpensive way of getting across to the airport. Once I arrived at the airport, I took a lift up to the check-in area, and as I didn't have any bags to check in today, I was able to make my way straight over to the fast-track security area, which is part of the business class ticket. And I was really surprised to see just how quiet this was. When I was walking down, I was starting to think, have I got the wrong place here, because there was no one else around. And I think other than the staff working there, I think I saw one other person the whole time I was going through security, so it was very nice and quick. The non-Schengen departures go from a satellite terminal at Terminal 4S, and there's a tram service that takes you over from the main Terminal 4 area to the T4S satellite, and the journey takes about 5 minutes. And they do run pretty frequently. I remember on arrivals, it was a really cramped space in here. There were so many people that had just arrived on flights and the whole place was packed up. But thankfully it wasn't an issue at all going the other way for departures. Once off the tram, we were up the escalators and through to immigration. And again, it was a really quick and easy process. Once you get past immigration, you're then in a duty-free area, and the lounge itself is actually located within the duty-free, so you walk through here and you get through to the main entrance. And I've got to say, I was really impressed with this lounge. There's loads of open space, lots of natural light coming through from the windows that overlook the runway, so you've always got great views wherever you're sat in the lounge. These chairs here were the most common ones, which are really comfy, and all of them have chargers next to them. And the lounge has loads of facilities, including a shower area, a rest area to get some sleep. There's also a games area, a TV area, there's a business area, although admittedly that's quite a small space for working. The bathrooms were kept nice and clean. And there's also two similar dining spaces at each end of the lounge. One of these sides does have a bar that's open all the time as well, but both sides have coffees and soft drinks that you can just go help yourself to. And then this is the bar area that's at one of the sides, so there is a bar back there where you can order your drinks, so no free pour, but you can order them. I started things off by taking a seat in the dining area, and I noticed there was a QR code for the menu, so this did bring up the menu of what was available. It wasn't actually a way of ordering things, and there was nothing on here that wasn't on the buffet, but it was a quick way of looking up what was available at the buffet before you go up to grab things. I did like as well that they displayed the times of when that would be changing to a different menu, so if you saw that it was going to change soon and you liked what was up at the moment rather than what was going to be changing, you could go get up there quick, or similarly you could wait for something that you prefer. I grabbed myself a good helping of rigatoni, orange chicken and potatoes, and it was all really nice, really good quality. And it's a lovely space to just sit back, relax, eat my food, have a drink and watch the planes go by. And to finish off my lunch, I got a little donut and a chocolate mousse. Both were really nice as well. I also found at the other side of the lounge, so the lounge side that doesn't have the bar, had this little snack station as well where you could help yourself to crisps and a few sweets and things like that. And I then relocated to one of these chairs that was near the windows and just sat and relaxed, looked out the window, did a little bit of editing, watched some YouTube videos and continued glancing out the window as well to check out the planes. About an hour or so before my flight, I started to get a bit peckish again, so I went for another round of the pasta and potatoes. Looking at the departure pods, I noticed that there were 3 different flights to London with Iberia going within about an hour of each other, so I had to be careful to make sure I was actually going on the right one. For some reason I thought I was the middle flight, but when I double checked my ticket I realised, oh no, I'm actually the first one, so I made my way over to the gate. There were different queues for each boarding group, and we were allowed in group 1. The business class cabin is in the same layout as in economy in a 3-3 configuration, but in business the middle seat is blocked out. And I'd selected seat 1A at the front of the plane. There's a good amount of legroom in this seat, and it is a bit better than what you get further back. However, one thing that doesn't quite come across on the camera is the front of the plane is slightly curved, so it does cut into some of the legroom that you have in this seat compared to the others. The seat itself is pretty standard, but it features an adjustable headrest, Being in the front row as well, there's no tray table in front of us, so this comes out with the armrest, which does slightly narrow the seat that you've got as well. Underneath the seat was a power outlet and a USB connection, and there were individual air vents and reading lights above. The flight also includes Wi-Fi, which includes free messaging for Iberia Plus members or anyone flying in business class, or you can pay extra for browsing and streaming. Once the doors closed and boarding was complete, I was delighted to find that I was the only person in my row, so I had all 3 seats to myself in the end. And the jet bridge retracted and we pushed back for an on-time departure. I definitely got a bit unlucky with the weather on this trip to Madrid. In the weeks running up to this trip, every time I'd looked at what the forecast had been in Madrid, it had been kind of high 20s, low 30s, completely sunny. That's Celsius, by the way, for any Americans watching. I'm not sure what that Fahrenheit is. I'll pop that up on screen. But yeah, for this weekend, just for the 2 days that I was there, we had rain, clouds, and it was colder. I don't mind the cooler weather because it meant I was able to actually walk around and see the sights, but I did get rained on quite a bit. Once up in the air, I got myself comfortable and made full use of the space that I had around me, using the middle tray table for my tablet and the coat hook in front of the middle seat for my jacket. And very quickly the crew came around and handed out some menus. The marinated sardine starter didn't really sound appetising to me, but the rest of the menu was looking pretty good, so I was looking forward to the meal. And being in the front row, I was served very quickly, and the crew were really nice and friendly as well. I'd opted for the pork tenderloin for my main and accompanied this with a carver. As with my last flight of Iberia, I was really impressed with the quality of the food. Aside from the starter, this meal was a lot more appealing to what I would want to try, and everything was really nice. Enjoyed the carver as well, and I liked that they gave you a little bottle so you can top that up yourself. This dessert though was definitely a highlight, basically a big profiterole, and it was absolutely delicious. Once I finished the meal as well, I took advantage of the fact that again there was no one next to me. It meant that I could go put my food in the tray across from me and just have all that space ahead of me. And being in the front row as well meant that even with these tray tables up, I still had plenty of space to be able to get out and pop to the loo. Absolutely nothing special about this bathroom though. I don't think there's really anything that differentiates it from the economy cabin. Granted, I didn't go back to the economy one, but there was nothing different in this one, no like special soap or anything. After the meal had been collected, the staff came around and handed out some chocolates, which I thought was a nice touch too. And the crew in general were really good on this flight. I've never seen many positive things about Iberia crew and service from other videos that I've seen. But everyone I dealt with was actually really friendly. They were quite attentive as well. They did offer additional drinks. I didn't take advantage of that, although the couple across from me seemed pretty determined to drink their own body weight on this flight, so the crew were constantly back and forth bringing them more bottles of wine. So if you are after a very indulgent experience, that's definitely possible. So overall, was it as good an experience as what I had on the A330? No, it wasn't. I think the service was better and the food was better as well, but you can't beat that seat. That said, I do think it still offers good value. Comparing it to other European short-haul business class flights, I think it's definitely up there. And particularly if you're able to book the flight using points, or if like I was, you needed the tier points. I hope you found that useful, and if you want to see what this flight is like when they do it on the A330, watch this video next.